UFC Shanghai. How we doing, everybody? My name is Young Pasty. Look at the white skin. I'm the whitest to do it around here. And I am here today to give you a pick and a prediction for every single fight on the card. UFC Shanghai starts early. Alert, alert. It starts early for us Americans over here. Okay? 3 a.m. Eastern time is the start time for the prelims. For UFC Shanghai for us Americans over here. Now, if you're over in China, Europe, wherever you may be, you're getting the card at a good start time over there. Different for us Americans over here. But it's actually a pretty solid card. There's actually a ton of good fights I'm excited for. So super happy and excited to break down some of these fights. And yeah, you know, I'm a hardcore fan. You know I'll be getting up early to watch them all too. So now, as we always do, we have to recap last week, UFC 319. Pulling the results up here right now, and it was kind of a tough week, guys. 5-6 on the picks. I could have gone 6-6 on the picks for this Eric Nolan Susukare fight. I mean, that was an obvious pick there, you know what I mean? But never got around to picking the fight. Didn't even bet on the fight. DDP let down. My gosh. Hamzat just handled him for 5 rounds. It was bad. It was bad. Duplessis had like 20 seconds of moments. Like Chimaev's a champ. Man, it's tough for me to see anybody beating him at this point. Co-main, Lerone Murphy and Aaron Pico. I said it in the last predictions video. I'll continue to say it as it comes up. Any of these Bellator cats coming over to UFC, making their UFC debut against these UFC killers, they end up losing. We saw it here again. Aaron Pico getting knocked out in the first round. Came out too aggressive. Lerone Murphy finds a shot. Finds a KO. He needed a KO too because he was known as a decision machine, so he looked nice there. Protez with a spinning elbow back. A spinning elbow as well. That was nice against Jeff Neal. Michael Page comes through, gets an easy win over Jared Cannonier. This one pissed me off. Kai Asakura and Tim Elliott. Asakura was winning that fight. He was looking pretty good, but man, you have no ground game at all, like whatsoever. Yeah, vet presence. Tim Elliott, even though did not fighting in like 2 years, who knows where he's training, he still has the skills. And I heard Kai Asakura request to go back to Ryzen. Bye. We don't want you over here anyway. You know what I mean? Loopy comes through with the win by decision. Pretty, had her moments and was rocking Andrade for a while. Michael Olachechuk, first round KO. We kind of all saw that coming. Now, the Hooper Hernandez fight pissed me off because, I mean, I don't know what, Herzog's probably number 1 on my most hated refs right now because he just makes bad decisions. Like, Hooper could have had a couple more seconds. They could have given him another round. It could have went into round 2. Now, yeah, I had money on him. Yeah, I picked him, so I was pissed. But I guess props to Alex Hernandez. I think both of the Barbozas got robbed. Both Edson and Dione. Dione especially. And then, wow. Adiris. You Kazakhstanian, horse-eating dude, can't beat Joseph Morales. Thought you would have found the win. DC praised you and, you know, had high thoughts of you and talk of you, but you lose that one too. Anyway, 5-6 on the picks last week for UFC 319. It was a wacky, kind of weird card. The judges and the refs were acting funky. I didn't like it. But hey, let's leave that bad juju at UFC 319 and roll some good vibes here into UFC Shanghai. Okay, let's get into it, guys. The main event of the evening. We have Mr. Johnny Walker versus Zhang Mingyang, the Mountain Tiger. Okay, I love that nickname. Odds on the fight, plus 285 for Johnny Walker and minus 395 for Zhang Mingyang. My pick for the fight's going to be Zhang Mingyang, okay? I'm taking the surging road to the UFC KO artist at this point. Fighting in his home country, quick striking. Now, he'll be smaller and have a reach disadvantage against Johnny Walker. Johnny Walker is usually bigger and taller than his opponents. You'll see it here. But man, Zhang Mingyang's rising. Johnny Walker hasn't looked too good in his last 2 fights. I mean, man, I think his chin's toast at this point. And he just leaves it up in the air for everybody to hit. And it's tough for me to pick against Johnny Walker. I was high on him at one point. Like, really high on him at one point. because he has finishing ability, he has talent, he has good submissions, he has good ground game, he has good movement. He's crafty on the feet, but he leaves his chin exposed and open at all times. It's just leg kicks. Mingyang probably going to rack up a bunch of leg kicks. And I think Mingyang's just a lot quicker in the striking, right? Like he just throws his hands and his kicks a lot faster than Johnny Walker. Zhang Mingyang is actually one of the good road to the UFC guys, right? I'm not really a fan of the road to UFC guys. They usually aren't that good, but he's actually putting on a couple of these road to the UFC guys. I'll give him some credit. Okay, they're coming through. They're kind of like the best ones that are kind of shining over here. Fighting out at Extreme Couture, good gym, getting good looks over there. Cardio-wise for Zhang Mingyang, not really tested, right? This dude hasn't been out of the first round since 2018. Now, I think he has a good 2 rounds in him. A good 2 Zhang Mingyang rounds where he's holding the pace, dictating the pace, pressure, putting Johnny Walker on the back foot, getting good strikes in. Takedown defense, it's been holding up, actually. So if we're getting 2 rounds of that, I think he finds a finish within at some point. I think Zhang Mingyang is definitely going to get a KO over Johnny Walker. As long as he just keeps pressuring Walker, puts him up against the fence, gets good strikes there, be aggressive. Mix up your striking, your leg kicks, and then you ultimately land those fight-ending shots. I think Zhang Mingyang can definitely get a KO within the distance. Definitely within the first 2 rounds, I think. I think everyone's looking at first round KO. Might head into the second round, in my opinion. So, I don't know. Just look at that. But Johnny Walker is still good. I like him, and it's tough for me to pick against him. There's no way this fight goes 5 rounds. No way. I mean, if you're a betting guy, I bet the fight goes to the distance is like plus 650 or something. I haven't looked at it yet. But I'm sure it's probably a pretty big number. Because, I mean, both these guys are just finishers. Again, Zhang Mingyang hasn't been out of the first round in literally 7 years. So it's just hard to see it not going, it's hard for me to see it going the distance. That's what I'm saying. Johnny Walker point fighting at distance. Maybe that's a path to victory. Crazy submission. We'll see. But my official pick for the main event on UFC Shanghai is Zhang Mingyang by KO. Let's go. All right, next fight, our co-main event. Grappler's Delight, maybe? We'll see. We have a Brian Ortega, T-City, versus Aljamain Funk Master Sterling. Odds on the fight here, what do we got? Plus 250 for Brian Ortega, minus 305 for Aljamain Sterling, the former champ. My pick for this fight's going to be Aljamain Sterling, but I say it with caution because Aljo's fighting at 145. This isn't bantamweight, moving up a little bit, and personally, I think Brian Ortega is going to be a little bit bigger and a little bit thicker and heftier than Aljamain. And Aljo, high-level grappler, striking is okay, right? It's enough to get him by, but he's wanting to hold you, clinch you, get you up against the fence, take you down, look for submissions. I just think he's going to have a tough time holding Brian Ortega down due to his size. And Aljamain's a little bit older. I mean, these guys are both a little bit older, 34 and 36. So, they're kind of getting up there in their career. Again, Sterling is the former champ, so I kind of, going to give him the edge there. But, I say I pick him with caution because Brian Ortega's solid, right? Like, his striking actually isn't that bad. Grappling, now, he does accept bottom position. And he does have decent jiu-jitsu. The subs are always live for Brian Ortega. But I don't like how he just accepts bottom position at some points. But honestly, I think he has the striking edge in this fight here. Now, do we see a grapple neutralizer kind of fight, right? Like where the grappling neutralizes itself out and they're striking? Probably not. Knowing Aljo, he's always trying to get takedowns. So I don't see him just ditching that plan at any point in the fight. I gotta go with Aljamain Sterling. Right? Former champ, high level grappling. He has the better grappling than Brian Ortega. He definitely does. I guess I'm just concerned with how he controls Brian Ortega on the mat and the size of Ortega. I don't know if I'm putting too much stock into that. I look at the weigh-ins. Okay, look at these weigh-ins. If I see Brian Ortega looking like humongous and way bigger than Aljamain Sterling, I might roll with Brian Ortega. Even though I don't really like him. Honestly, his last few fights kind of been disappointing. Imagery not really looking that good. Like, ranked fighter, was really once regarded as a pretty solid fighter, but inactive. You've only fought 2 people in the last 3 years. I don't know. Tough for me to pick Brian Ortega. I got to check the weigh-ins. I'm picking Aljamain Sterling with caution, and I'm going to take him by decision. So that's my official pick for the co-main event. All right, next fight on the main card. And if you haven't, please do me a favor. Click that subscribe button. Goes a long way. We are on the path to 400 subscribers now. I'd like to thank y'all for getting me to 300 subscribers last week. This is Sparta. 300 subscribers. So thank you guys. We're on the road to 400 subscribers now. But yeah, next fight on this main card, we have Sergei Pavlovich versus Waldo Salsa Boy Cortes Acosta. Odds on the fight here, we have minus 255 for Sergei, plus 210 for Waldo. My pick for this fight is going to be Waldo Cortes Acosta. And this, folks, is a first. So I've always picked against Waldo Cortes Acosta. What does he do? Keep winning. So yeah, just being honest, I've been on the other side of him at all times. And now I'm jumping on the train. I believe now. Okay? And he's going up against a Sergei Pavlovich. This is his hardest fight in his career. But I think he gets it done. I mean, I keep doubting the guy. He keeps coming through with wins. Takedown defense is solid. Not worry about him getting taken down. Boxing is crisp, has a nice good jab, has really good power in the hands. I like the movement. The volume's really good. We've seen the cardio tested. He can go 3 rounds. Like, this should be a striking battle, right? Now, I will say, Waldo's usually on the back foot. Sergei's probably going to be the one pressuring, right? Sergei's looking for that huge shot. But we saw that that's a downfall to him. If you can't hit the good shot, you know what I mean? Like against Volkov, right? He couldn't hit the good shot. Ends up losing the fight, getting beat up all 3 rounds. Now, Sergei's good, high ranked, working at a good gym, an ATT, active. But like his path to victory is a KO. Like I don't see him getting a decision win over Waldo. I think Waldo is going to get a decision win over Sergei. I think he takes him all 3 rounds. I think he looks good. I think he avoids all the shots. I think the striking comes through. What I guess I'm concerned about is Sergei, like he's just a big, chubby heavyweight. Like check weigh-ins too. Now, when I'm looking at the stats, right, it says technically Waldo's taller and bigger. So, we'll see how he looks, you know what I mean? But I got Waldo by decision. I think his hands are quicker, rolling off good momentum. Has good movement, and I think the volume will win him the fight. Quicker hands, movement, and volume. I think those are his 3 keys to winning this fight here. So I got Waldo Cortes Acosta, and I got him by decision. I'm hopping on the train, salsa boy. Don't have any salsa right now. Okay, look. If Waldo Cortes Acosta wins for us, I'll come on next time eating some salsa, okay? Mark my words. So Waldo Cortes Acosta is my official pick for this fight by decision. Let's go. Moving on to our next fight, we have Sumudaerji, the Tibetan Eagle, versus Kevin Borjas, El Gallo Negro. Those are the nicknames, if you couldn't tell. Odds in the fight, minus 150 for Sumu, plus 130 for Borjas. My pick for this fight's going to be Kevin Borjas. Give me the tough Peruvian. Give me the underdog. I was actually surprised with his last win, and I was actually also surprised with Sumudaerji's last win too. Even though Sumudaerji won it by split versus Mitch Raposo, which Kevin Borjas is a lot better than Mitch Raposo, in my opinion. Sumudaerji's moving up in competition now, right? Needed that win because even though he was formerly ranked, I mean, he was on a skid, right? Lost to Charles Johnson, lost to Tim Elliott, lost to Matt Schnell. Looked really bad in the Matt Schnell fight. Got submitted easy in the Tim Elliott fight. Charles Johnson got him with the decision win. What people love about Sumudaerji is how tall he is, the length. Like, he's a long and lanky guy. He's really good at distance. Has a nice left hand, nice jab, good straights, and also, like, really good elbows. Love the elbows from Sumudaerji. But why I'm picking Kevin Borjas in this fight. his Peruvian toughness, his grit, his good boxing. Really nice hands, good counters, and I think Sumudaerji is going to get lit up with the counters coming in stupid. And then Kevin Borjas has really nice straights too. Now, Kevin Borjas does have flaws in his game, right? Takedown defense needs to be better. He needs to check his kicks, right? Like, that's been a downfall in his fight too. Like, in that Acosta fight, literally leg kicks chopped him up, literally got him to the ground and beat the fuck up. So, yeah, he definitely has some flaws, but his striking is crisp. I think it's better than Sumudaerji. And Sumudaerji is not really like a submission threat, in my opinion, a grappling threat, in my opinion. This should be a striking battle. I think he can edge out a decision win. I think he gets the bigger moments, the better strikes, maybe knocks down Sumudaerji a couple times throughout the rounds, and just looks good. So yeah, going Kevin Borjas for the upset. If you're a betting guy, I think plus 3.5, maybe something to look at for Kevin Borjas, because I could definitely see him coming out good in the first round, losing the second two. But yeah, Borjas by decision. That is my official pick for this fight. Let's go. All right, moving on to our first fight on the main card. We have Taiyilake Nueraji, a.k.a. Super Saiyan. Okay, we got a little Dragon Ball Z fan over there. Versus Kiefer Crosbie, BDK. Big Daddy Killer. I don't know what the fuck that means. Odds on the fight. Minus 340 for Nueraji. Plus 280 for Crosbie. My pick for this fight is going to be Nueraji. And I got him by some sort of finish on the mat. At first I was like, who the fuck is this guy? He's a road to UFC guy, which, first off, right off the bat, gave me concerns. But I'm looking at the guy, and he's, I don't know, maybe I'm changing my mind about some of these fighters coming from the road to the UFC. Like, this dude has some really good pressure, always sets the pace, really good volume, good movement. I think his movement, he has like a similar stance and style to Myron Santos with grappling. Because, like a better, more aggressive grappling or wrestling style than Myron Santos, because Myron Santos can grapple, right? But he has a very similar stance to Myron Santos. Yeah, Nueraji mixes in the grappling and gets takedowns really, really easy, smothering pressure on the mat, nasty ground and pound when on top. I don't like the lower hands. That does make him easy to hit. I bet Crosbie finds a couple of good heavy shots on Nueraji, and he'll probably have to resort to the grappling and wrestling to recover, and then ultimately probably take down Crosbie. Crosby's a tough, hittable Irish guy, former Bellator fighter, inactive. Like, only 2 fights in 2 years for Crosbie here. Honestly, he's a once-a-year kind of fighter, which, concerns me a little bit. Constantly put on the back foot, taken down with ease. I believe he got submitted both times here in the UFC. Yep, by rear naked choke and by arm triangle by Sam Patterson and Kevin Jousset. Like, Kevin Jousset subbing you, bro? Nueraji's a young guy, 11 years younger, 25 versus 34. No, 24 versus 35, so 11 years younger than my boy Crosbie here. And Crosby's like a kill or be killed kind of guy. Like, his fights don't last too long. They're usually ending in the first round. Crosby's getting finished here, guys. Like, Nueraji's just going to find a finish on the mat. Sub or ground and pound, both live. We've seen how easy Crosbie gets subbed up, so I imagine Nueraji can do the same. Nueraji's no submission artist by any means, right? He's getting a lot of KOs. Got his first submission win just a year ago, but Nueraji inside the distance, I think, is a good play for any of you betting folk out there. But ultimately, I think he gets it done by submission. So we're going to take Nueraji by submission over Kiefer Crosbie. He's a tough Irish guy, but he's super hittable. Might be a club and sub kind of thing, or just an easy takedown with arm triangle. Arm triangle, rear naked choke. I feel like those can come easy for Nueraji. So Nueraji by sub. That is my official pick for this main event fight. Let's go. All right, next fight, our featured prelim. 2 young cats going at it. It should be a good one. I'm excited for this one. We have Maheshate versus Guage G Money Young. Odds on the fight, plus 110 for Maheshate, minus 140 for Guage Young. My pick for this fight is Guage Young. My dude looked pretty solid for his UFC debut versus Evan Elder. Now, I knew he would lose that fight. Evan Elder is a tough guy. 3-month turnaround. I like that. But I think that Gage Young can fuck up Maheshate with pressure, leg kicks, volume, and counters. I think Maheshate is going to come in kind of crazy, and Young's going to find a lot of counter shots that hit Maheshate pretty good. Gage Young, high pace. Really good cardio. I say really good cardio, decent cardio. Lots of volume. Really good knees. Has some grappling that he can mix in too. So don't be surprised if you see him, mix that in, land a couple of takedowns. That's really live for him to do. But on the flip side, dude can get touched up. Okay, he needs to sharpen his defense because Maheshate is definitely going to find a couple of shots on him. Maheshate, a young Chinese guy. Okay, got the little hometown advantage. They're fighting in China. Dyed his hair blonde last time. Okay, the Charles Oliveira effect. Are we going to see it come through again? I don't know. He's taller guy, taller and longer, but he's been beaten by shorter guys before, so I'm not really concerned about the reach or height advantage he has over Gage Young. And honestly, I don't think it'll be too noteworthy. Now, his best win, Maheshate's best win, is over the surging Steve Garcia. He ended up knocking out Steve Garcia prior to his crazy run that he's having. But other than that, he's getting worked by everybody. Like, his last win was a split win over Benitez, a very aging Benitez, and it was a split win. Like, he should be handling Benitez, who was 14 years older than him at that point, I believe. Rafa Garcia, Nicholas Moda, Borjas, all handled Maheshate, right? He's constantly fighting on the back foot. Gage Young's a pressure. He's constantly moving forward. I think this is Gage Young's fight to lose. His first time fighting overseas, and honestly, that's something I'm concerned about because that can kind of throw you off. But at the same time, it also might give you more focus, right? You don't know what the fuck's going on. You don't know what the hell anybody's speaking, right? It's just you and your team focused, going in to fight somebody in an octagon. So I got Gage Young. I got him by decision. I think these guys are going to trade. I think they're going to go back and forth. I think Maheshate can find success maybe in the second or third round, maybe steal a round. But I got Gage Young 29-28 on the scorecards by decision. Let's go. Next fight. And I said it, guys. There's a bunch of good fights on this card. We got another one here. In Lanier Kavanagh versus Charles Energy Johnson. Odds on the fight, minus 215 for Lanier, plus 180 for Charles Johnson. My pick for this fight is going to be Lanier Kavanagh. Give me the young, looking good London prospect. Charles Johnson's a vet in this league, right? I mean, this will be a good fight. I'm excited to watch this one. Can we see Charles get it done as an underdog again? I don't think so. Now, he's usually a taller, longer fighter, has a reach advantage, probably has to cut a lot of weight, has decent cardio. Always fighting prospects, right? And he's always halting these rising prospects. And Lanier's one of those, so just something I'm throwing out there for you guys to know. But I like Lanier Kavanagh in this spot. Charles Johnson's flying over for America. Lanier over there in London don't have to, go as far, right? Mixes in the striking and the grappling the whole fight. Lanier does. Decent control on the mat when he gets people down. Heavy hands, too. Yeah, he'll be a lot, shorter. I'm not really concerned about that because I think he can close distance pretty easy. I think he can hold Charles Johnson up against the fence. I think he can find multiple takedowns in this fight. Will be the pressuring fighter. Charles Johnson will definitely be on the back foot, in my opinion. He's going to kind of try and, point fight, right? In and out with his shots. But I think Charles Johnson can find success at distance, but at times I think Kavanagh can come in with these blitzes or just hold him up against the fence and make it dirty, get elbows in. I like his elbows that he, gets off the clinch and off the fence. He can definitely get tagged by, longer guys, but I don't know. He just fought Felipe Dos Santos, is a longer guy and a taller guy than him, and worked him, right? Beating Ochoa. That's a good aging win too. So, man, even though he's just 9-0, I got Lanier Kavanagh. Charles Johnson. I just don't trust him in this fight. It's a weird feeling. I don't know. So Yeah, I'm going with the rising London prospect. Give me, I think he's from London. Somewhere over there in the UK. Fuck. Give me Lanier Kavanagh and give me him by decision because Charles Johnson, again, tough vet, tough out. Probably will steal around 29-28 decision for Lanier Kavanagh is my official pick. Let's go. All right, next fight. We have Rongzhu versus Austin Hubbard. Austin Thud Hubbard. Odds on the fight minus 290 for Rongzhu, plus 240 for Thud. My pick for this fight is going to be Rongzhu. Man, I feel bad for my boy Austin Hubbard. He just cannot get it done in the UFC. Call him Austin Dud Hubbard because he's just racking up losses. Few wins here and there. Honestly, he should have won his last fight versus Alexander Hernandez. He definitely lost that last fight versus Markel Medeiros. His wins are not that impressive or anything to brag about. One win in the UFC in the last 3 years. Losing to Kurt Hallball too by submission a few years back. Older at 33. I'm not feeling Austin Hubbard at this point, and I slept on Rongzhu last time out, and dude came out aggressive, and he came out with an intent to win. Man, he can crack hard, dude. And also, he looked huge last time out. Is it just me? But they were both listed at 5'9". Him and Rongzhu and Cody Steele in the last fight. These guys were both listed at 5'9". Rongzhu looked like 3 inches taller than him. So I don't know if he just had a good weight gain after the weight cut, but man, he just looked huge. Very close to his opponent, likes to trade in the pocket. I think he can find a lot of good shots on Hubbard. Hubbard has a good chin, right? May struggle at time with Hubbard's clinching and grappling, but I mean, in his last fight, right, his takedown defense actually held up pretty good against Steele, who is a pretty decent grappler. Rongzhu's definitely the quicker striker, more powerful striker in my opinion. Like Thud's tough. I think Rongzhu's gonna hit him a lot. I don't think he's gonna find the knockout shot. If he does, I think it's gonna be in the later rounds. Man, a 3rd round knockout from Rongzhu might be something to look at, right? And I think the takedown defense can hold up, right? Austin Hubbard, he is always mixing in the grappling in his fights. So I think Rongzhu can fend off the takedowns. Hubbard's probably going to get hit with a lot of counters. His striking's okay. It's not bad, but compared, Rongzhu's definitely the better striker. Hubbard's a slower striker. I don't know. He can make this... Excuse me. He can make this a win by a gritty fight. Fence control, takedowns. Look for a submission, maybe an armbar, rear naked choke. I mean, that may be his path to victory here, but I can't trust Austin Hubbard. I just can't. And we're over in China too, right? So if it really comes down to it, a decision or a split decision, who do you think they're going to give it to? The American or the Chinaman? They're going to give it to Rongzhu. So I'm taking Rongzhu. I'm going to take him by decision. 3rd round KO, maybe something to sprinkle. Maybe a 2-3 KO. Because Austin Hubbard's tough, has a chin, but if you just keep beating it up, you may be able to find the knockout. Who knows? So Rongzhu by decision, though. That is my official pick for this fight. Let's go. All right, next fight. We have Michel Pereira versus Kyle Daukaus. The Darce Knight, Kyle Daukaus. Odds on the fight, minus 290 for Michel Pereira, plus 240 for Kyle Daukaus. My pick for this fight is going to be Michel Pereira. Say that with caution, too. Because, guys, Michel Pereira's looked bad in his last 2 fights. What's going on with this guy? Cardio looks awful. Imagery's looking bad. And because of it, now they're sticking him on the fucking prelims. This dude used to be a killer. Right? This dude was surging on a win streak. I picked this guy against Fluffy, my stupid ass. Right? Thought he could get a crazy finish, right? I'll give him credit for going at least 4 or 5 rounds. But damn. Got worked by him. He's only 31. And he looks like he's 38. I mean, goddamn, how many fights does he have? He's 31-13, guys. That is 44 fights. That is nuts. Kyle Daukaus 15-4. He can't win in the UFC, though. He's rattled off 4 wins in a row in CFFC. But, that's... I mean, these guys, 7-7, 17-8, 5-1. Like, he's not fighting the best guys in the world. You know what I mean? His wins in the UFC were over Jamie Pickett and Dustin Stoltzfus. Like, not very impressive. Kyle Daukaus chinny as fuck, hittable as fuck, striking it like. I felt like it was raw then. I still feel like it is now. Like I don't really see any improvements. Has a ground game, right? Can hold people and control people on the fence and on the ground. Ground and pound not really there. I'm not really a fan of Kyle Daukaus. Like this Michel Pereira. Like I feel like this is just a layup for you. Like this is a gimme, right? You are a finisher. You put on wild, flashy, striking combos and doing fucking cartwheels and backflips onto people, crazy submissions. Now, personally, I don't know if I can put my hard-earned money on Michel Pereira at the moment after what I've seen the past 2 fights. Like, really looking like dog shit out there. Check the weight cut. Check the weight cut for sure. Because I don't know if that's, like, maybe something that's bothering him. Maybe he needs to move up. What's this fucking fight at? Middleweight. Maybe he needs to move up to fucking light heavyweight. I don't know. Make that weight cut a little bit easier for him. If it's an issue. Like, is that his issue the past 2 fights? I don't know. Under is definitely something to look at here. I don't see this going 3 rounds. But if it does, maybe Kyle Daukaus can pull off a decision win with like some smothering grappling, holding Michel Pereira on the ground. Because Michel Pereira is tired after fucking 2 minutes. You know that he'll be just sitting on the back, accepting position in guard. So what Kyle Daukaus needs to do is avoid space, avoid striking with Pereira, because you're definitely outmatched there. Like, he's playing with fucking fire, striking with Pereira. Don't do it. But yeah, check the weight cut on this one. Under is definitely something to look at. I'm going to side with Michel Pereira. I think he finds a finish. I think he knocks out Kyle Daukaus. Like, that's what should happen. That's what should happen. That's what just should happen with Kai Asakura and fucking Tim Elliott. But look what happened there. You know what I mean? No. Kyle Daukaus ain't no UFC vet, beating a bunch of high-noted people. But I'll take Michel Pereira. He had 8 wins in a row prior to Fluffy and a boost. I think he gets back on track here with another flashy highlight reel KO. So my Michel Pereira by KO is my official pick for this fight. All right, next fight. Honestly, a fight I could give a fuck about. So Yizha versus Westin Wilson. Odds on the fight minus 1,500 for Yizha. Plus 775 for Westin Wilson. My pick for the fight will be Yizha. These guys are both, they both suck. Okay? Yizha may have a flashy 25-5 pro record, but don't let it fool you. And then Westin Wilson, his record shows he's 17-9. I can't back either of these guys. And now we're putting them against each other, I guess. My gosh, minus 1,500. Right off the bat, I will just say he is an unrightful, humongous favorite. Like, Wilson is not good. Yizha's not good, but, Yizha has nothing to brag about whatsoever. Yizha's the road to UFC guy. Again, right? Not really people I'm impressed by. No, he's not one of the ones that are actually good. Like, he's not very good. That's why he's fighting fucking Westin Wilson, right? I assume he's going to get a finish over Westin Wilson. Like, submission, ground pound, I don't know, inside the distance, those should all be live. Yizha has good pressure. He has the ability to crack. But he can get takedown himself with ease. And he can get body on the mat. If Westin Wilson takes Yizha down, I think he can probably hold him there. He's very hittable. Like, he can get hit with some nasty shots. Remember that fucking kick to the face from Gabriel Santos, toes right to the fucking jaw. Yeah, he ate it. And, look, he went 3 rounds with Gabriel Santos. He's tough. You know what I mean? He has his 30 fucking pro fights. He's been in there a lot. Not against the best competition probably, but I think he's better than Westin Wilson now. Westin Wilson's only win is a sub win over Jekka Chinny Sergei. He got KO'd by 2 killers, right? Brito and Silva. So, Silva, I'm definitely giving you a pass. Brito, kind of not aging the best. But Westin Wilson's usually, he's like a punching bag in fights. You can just beat the crap out of him. Nothing thrown back. Thrown down on the ground with ease. You can just toss him around. Very hittable. Like he can hunt subs on the ground with the jiu-jitsu, right? But sometimes he overcommits. Sometimes he does stupid stuff. Like he tried overcommitting with a leg lock, and Brito just punched him in the face and knocked him out. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. I'm just not trusting Westin Wilson at all. Not like I'm putting big faith against, or not like I'm putting big faith behind Yizha either. But that's gonna be my official pick. Gosh, how do I see him winning? I guess he'll probably knock out Westin Wilson with the immense pressure he has. I think he's Chinese too, so he's kind of fighting at home per se, right? So yeah, give me Yizha, give me him by KO. Again, I really don't care about this fight, but that's how I think he gets it done. So that's my official pick for this fight, Yizha by KO. Let's go. All right, next fight. 2 road to the UFC guys, and one I'm actually a fan of. We have Xiao Long versus SouYoung Yu. Odds on the fight plus 120 for Xiao Long and minus 140 for SouYoung Yu. My pick for this fight is going to be Xiao Long. Man, I like this guy. This dude's tough. He is tough as hell. Aggressive. Sometimes comes in super recklessly, and sometimes that's his downfall. Hard loss to Chang Ho Lee last time, which, he actually proved to be pretty decent. But I think he won that fight. Like, I love the pressure that he brings. He's always in your face. He does not back down. Xiao Long is a pit bull. Off the chain. Okay? And I think he won that freaking fight with Chang Ho Lee. Definitely thought he won the first 2 rounds, dropped the 3rd round. The only reason they gave Chang Ho Lee that first round is because of the image on the freaking Long's face. He got a nasty cut, right? But he was working him the whole fucking first round. I don't know. I'm not a fucking judge, but that's how I saw it. Xiao Long hits hard. He's good in the clinch, has really good knees, good elbows, works the body really good. Again, immense pressure, usually dictating the pace. And honestly, I think that he can fend off the takedowns for SouYoung Yu. I think that's a big threat and something that SouYoung Yu could mix in this fight. But I think he can fend off the takedowns. Or if we've seen Xiao Long get taken down, get back up. Sprawls are good. Scrambles are good. And we've seen Xiao Long take down people himself. SouYoung Yu here, on the other hand. Let's talk about him. He's a calculated kind of striker. Good leg kicks. He's definitely more of a technical striker than Xiao Long. But he's powerful. He's got good boxing, and he's like a thicker guy. He's got a good stout, wider base, right? Good movement, and he's pretty good defensively, sound defensively, and good cardio. Last fight, he wrestled Cunningham to a decision. Looked good doing it, did a 30-27 win. I just think that Xiao Long, with his pressure, his movement forward, SouYoung Yu's not going to be able to make this fight prettier, and he's not going to be able to hold that distance, right? Xiao Long's going to, if he's getting pieced up, right, push him up against back the fence, because Xiao Long's good on the fence, and gets those elbows and knees in on the fence really good. But SouYoung Yu, I think his path to victory here is to make it a pretty fight or get control time, hold Long down on the ground with that smothering, again, thick, wide base. He may be able to hold Long down with the takedowns, but I see Xiao Long fend him off. He's he's tough, and he doesn't want to be on the ground. He's not going to be wormy and squirmy. He's trying to get out of there. He'll fucking give up his back to give up, probably. You know what I mean? So, and Xiao Long is an underdog. He'll fight for your money, man. This dude will fight for your money. Maybe something I'm looking at, but ultimately, at the end of the day, my pick for this fight is Xiao Long, and I got him by decision. This is going to be a good fight, one I'm excited for. Yeah, I know it's 2 road to the UFC guys. They're actually not that bad, though. So it'll be an entertaining fight, I think. So it starts mad early. So hopefully it wakes you up, right? It wakes everybody up and gets them excited and alive for the next fights. So Xiao Long by decision. That's my official pick for this fight. Let's go. All right. Our first fight of the card and the last fight we're breaking down. We have Diyar Nurgozhay versus Uran Satybaldiev, the gorilla. Odds on the fight, I don't think these are right. No, the Tapology odds are not right on this one. Let me pull them over here. Okay, yeah, way more accurate over here. So we have plus 154 for Diyar Nurgozhay and minus 185 for Satybaldiev. My pick for this fight is going to be Uran Satybaldiev. Man, Diyar Nurgozhay. Dude just lost the fight himself last time. He looked actually pretty decent until he got messed up and put himself in a stupid submission. And like, come on now. Losing to Brenson Ribeiro in that fashion, like, it's just a bad look. Like, I'd say that is a fraud check because Brenson Ribeiro is really not that impressive to me. Satybaldiev, on the other hand, former LFA guy, been long, all right? Fought 3, 4, 5 rounds at some points. So I believe in the cardio there on his end. Fought up a weight class last time in his UFC debut against Boudet, and we definitely saw the weight difference there. Like, Boudet just bodied him with the weight. Like, now he's fighting in the weight class that he's usually in, okay? Light heavyweight, 205. So I think this is better for him, his debut there in the UFC. So, you know, he gets into the UFC short term with that fight, and now they're giving him a Diyar Nurgozhay. I will say this. Satybaldiev can definitely get cracked and wobbled at times. Now, the chin's held up so far, right? He has heart, he has recoverability. But something to note, because Diyar Nurgozhay, this dude's a power puncher. This dude's a striker. Like, he can hit hard, right? You get cracked by him in the wrong way, you're going to end up on the ground real bad. So, Satybaldiev is, you know, his striking is okay, but it can definitely be cleaned up. Like, it's serviceable at the moment. But if you're going to continue to fight in the UFC, he definitely needs to clean up his striking for sure. But on the other hand, Satybaldiev definitely has the grappling edge, and that's kind of Diyar Nurgozhay's downfall. I think he's going to take down Diyar Nurgozhay with ease. Satybaldiev has this great top control, holds people on the ground really easy, and does it for rounds and rounds and rounds. Gets some good ground and pound in. Might even find, actually, yes, I think he does. I think he finds a submission over Diyar Nurgozhay. Like, Nurgozhay put himself in a dumb submission last time. I just think he's, like, when it comes to the ground and the mat, like, he just got some holes in his game when it comes to the ground game. Like, he has offensive wrestling, don't get me wrong, but, like, defensively, not really that solid. Nurgozhay has good kicks, could chop up Satybaldiev's leg. We've seen Satybaldiev get his legs kicked. Solid movement for Nurgozhay, too, with, like, how big he is. And he missed weight last time, something to note, too. And he still lost. Damn. Like, Nurgozhay's got a little tub on him, for sure. Check weigh-ins on this one as well. Satybaldiev by submission. I'm calling it, man. Like, Nurgozhay's ground game's not there. Unless he improved it. When's the last time he fought? When's the last time he fought? 5 months ago? I guess you can gain some experience within that 5 months, but is it enough to fend off submissions and immense top control from a guy like Uran Satybaldiev? I don't know. I'm taking the guy who looks like he's getting 50 years old. I don't know. I mean, look at this guy. Literally looks like a 50-year-old. He's got the grappling edge. The chin I'm a little bit concerned about. He does get hit a lot, but ends up getting takedowns and a lot of damage on the ground. And at the end of the day, I think he finds a submission at some point. So give me Satybaldiev to start the card off by submission. Let's go. All right, guys. That is a pick and a prediction for every single fight on the card for UFC Shanghai. If you have made it this far, thank you so much. Appreciate you watching my video this long. Click that subscribe button. Goes a long way around here. Throw a like, throw a comment. Do the stuff for the algorithm. You know how that stuff works. And then secondly, check out my Patreon, guys. The link is in the description. It's free. That's where I put all my bets out when I place them. Right? Because the bets video comes out on Wednesday. I don't put the bets in right before the video starts on Wednesday. Right? We put them in earlier in the week. That way you can get the odds when they're good. Because they always sway in the opposite way. But again, Patreon is free. Links in the description. Go check it out. That's where you can see all my plays before the official video comes out on Wednesday. So let's turn it around this week for UFC Shanghai on the picks. Young Pasty, whitest in the land, heading out. Let's go.